Welcome to No Cover Comics. We cover the tattered and torn comics, not the new ones. Today we're looking at Superman 292 from October 1975, titled The Luthor Nobody Knows, A Glimpse into the Mind of Superman. Written by Elliot, Maggin, and art by Curt, Swan, and Bob Oksner. After another massive battle in a long line of destructive fights with Lex Luthor, Superman is helping the airport's chief of operations put their airport back together again. As their conversation turns to how Superman feels about Lex, Superman contemplates that he lives in constant fear of what Luthor will set loose on the world next. He thinks back to the day before and what he was doing when he learned of Luthor's latest escape. From his old boss, Perry White. See, at this point, Clark is working for WGBS as a news anchor on television. By slightly injuring a co-worker with his heat vision to give him indigestion, Clark is able to fake his own indigestion and slip away to become Superman. As soon as Luthor's escape was made public, he attacked a plane with some sort of gravity weapon, causing it to crash. But of course, Superman catches it and guides it in for a landing and has the airport evacuated for his upcoming battle with Luthor. No words are spoken as they start their battle. This is a dance they've engaged in many times. Luthor's intent to kill and Superman's to capture. Using the weapon that Lex used to crash the plane on Superman, it throws off Superman's center of gravity, causing any movement that Superman makes to be a violent overreaction. So instead of fully moving, Superman just vibrated, causing an earthquake at the airport until some rubble knocked Lex out. Lex's beam wears off before Lex can wake up, and as Superman is flying Lex back to jail, he thinks again of how often they fought and how Lex never beats him. And sometimes he just wonders if he breaks out just to destroy something. Superman's thoughts come back to the present as he's finishing fixing up the airport. The airport chief says, as long as there's Lexes in the world causing destruction, it's a good thing there's a Superman to clean things up. And he asks Superman if there ever was a time when Luthor wasn't evil. This causes Superman to think back to a time when they were still friends and both living in Smallville. Being the two best students in the class, they were science bros. With Lex taking the lead on a science experiment in class, Clark and him pulled a prank on the class, giving them a good scare, but it was all done in good fun. Not long after that, Superboy was going to see his friend Lex at his new lab, as Lex had told him to come by because he had a surprise for him. Lex had created a living protoplasm, and using it, he had created an antidote for kryptonite. But in his excitement, he accidentally knocked over a flask, which caused a fire, and with the door blocked, Lex was trapped. This moment, Superboy came by and put the fire out with his super breath, destroying the protoplasm and causing the chemical mixture to make Lex's hair fall out, all in the process of putting out the fire. Lex totally overreacts and vows to destroy Superboy. And though Superboy thinks Lex will calm down with time, he doesn't, as his attacks get more and more vicious until finally his family kicks him out and he's arrested and sent to detention hall. Still, Superboy held on to the hope that one day his boyhood friend would come back to his senses. Until the day Lex stole a nuclear bomb and threatened to set it off if Superboy came near him. Not believing his old friend could do such a thing, Superboy attempted to apprehend Lex only to have him detonate the bomb. Using his super speed, Superboy saves Lex and uses his cape to shield him from the radioactivity. Then Superboy used a high-pitched super yell to cancel out the shockwave from the bomb. And moving as quickly as he could, he created a funnel-shaped vacuum to suck the fallout into space. Finishing and returning to Lex right as he was unwrapping himself from Superman's cape. Superboy makes one last attempt to get his friend back, but Lex won't have it, as he complains how everyone has deserted him and the only person he can rely on is himself. And it doesn't matter how many times he puts him away, he'll always be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. And with that, Superman is brought back to his conversation with the airport chief, who asks him again, is hate all Luthor ever had? to which Superman says no, but it's the only thing he has left. Too bad people can't be rebuilt as easy as airports. That's Superman 292. This is the comic that introduced me to Lex and Clark's friendship as children. Before reading this comic as a kid, I didn't know that Lex and Superman had been friends at one point. This added another dimension to Lex. Rather than just being a mad scientist, it gave him a personal connection to Superman that went back years. Though I have always thought that Lex had one hell of an overreaction to Superboy ruining one science experiment and making his hair fall out. The story also highlights that hope that Superman is always so known for, and how he would not give up on Lex even after years and years of fighting. If you like what I'm doing, give me a like, hit the subscribe. I try to get one video out a week. Thanks for watching.